Just imagine, 17 brave Russian soldiers would be overpowered by thousands of Martian soldiers. Thousands of soldiers kneel before only 17 soldiers. We will see something similar in today's movie Furious. At the beginning of the movie we see a boy named Nam, who was with him and his soldiers at night. His daughter Nasha had also received a haunting mail at night. He tells him that he also wants to become the prince's guard, and he shows off by wielding a sword in both his hands, but falls down. The clan keeps its name because of the art of spinning in circles with a sword in both hands while dancing. There was a small flaw near the breakfast that she played. Then a group of people attacks all of them. Breakfast runs away from there and everyone is killed except Kolo, Virat and Red Merkulov. Knight Merkulov tells Knight to run away, but he fights instead of running away. Rot kills Mir and he swings a sword in both his hands to fight them like a rear. But Mongol's commander is happy, and kills him by putting a noose around his neck. After this we see that present day's eyes open and he starts shouting breakfast, or who is now his wife quickly comes in front of him and reminds him that 13 years have passed since that incident and now he is married. We learned that in that battle, Kolavrad was left to die by Mongoose but he survived. Since then, every night when Kolovrat sleeps, he forgets everything and becomes the same person he was 13 years ago. So it is necessary to remind him of this every day. Now Riaz is their Prince Yuri Kok Knight. The prince asks the school of birth what should they do. Everyone tells them to attack, but Colorado tells them to hold. When the army comes near, he learns that these are princes from other kingdoms, who are coming with their soldiers, who are very good friends of his. The prince heaves a sigh of relief. After this we see that he is training new soldiers, when the prince comes to the tree, and is also a good friend of Collar Broad. He challenges that Kolovrat's strategy can make it useless quite easily. He fights the Fed and his trained soldiers, but is defeated quite easily. Everyone likes Kolrod. Now he goes home and gifts the little flute snack he made with his own hands, which he had dropped when the Mongols came in his childhood. But we find out that Rose gives it to him flat and forgets about it. But the inspector had a son some time ago, and he makes him his godfather. A man suddenly runs in and tells everyone that the models have surrounded them from all sides, and he is going to attack them. But while standing on their castle, the gang sees the army of thousands of baton cans plants, and gets scared. There is chaos among the common people, and the gates are completely closed. But Suri is very worried about what to do. His commander says that they will not be able to win against Badukan's army, so we can give them a lot of money, which will make us poor. But our people will be saved. Uri's son is Fed and very aggressive, who says that we should fight, and defeat them. Yuri decides to go to the shop with Fed and some soldiers to get some things, and give them some time to think. He looks for him but he has already left there and goes out where there was chaos among all the people. When he reaches his home, he sees that Prince Yuri was at his house. Yuri asks him to go and talk to Feeder but he refuses because he has a speech impediment. Doesn't force him, but explains that Fed is a hot-minded man. He can't trust him. She needs someone as intelligent as her. Only when Joba can convince the shop. Nastia requests Yuri not to let Kolovrat go because he forgets every night, and wakes up every morning with memories of 13 years ago. Kolrod sells his wife from there to another room, and is ready to go after agreeing with Up. Finally all the things are prepared and along with Colorado, Jin Sir Federer and some soldiers go. Nastia also sends her maid Lita along with Kolrod, so that she can remind Kolrod again and again. Both of them say goodbye to each other and Virat leaves, with his friends towards their camp. After all this, he goes inside Khan's camp and greets him, and offers him all the goods. In return they are offered good food. He is asked what he wants from the people of Ryazan. So Batan Khan says that he came to rule over Ran and he will respect those who kneel before him. Hearing this, Federer says that I would like to see you bowing before me. He is angry after hearing this. He comes in front of him and asks him to repeat this. He handles the situation, to which Bahadur Khan asks him if he thinks he will succumb to them, to which Kolovrat tells him that we think that you will capture our land by killing all our people. Hearing this gives one to the things which is called immunity charter. No army man would ever listen to him, and on his request, he would be given food and even a horse. This is the power of this immunity charter. After this we see that a performance takes place which he and his friends were watching, on which table they were eating. The audio of some of it was carried on its shoulders. Nashat's father Sandmir was also among them. After this, the people of the shop attack him, and his men from behind, and they all fight, and tear the tent and come out. They start killing everyone, and in the meantime the principal gets hit by an arrow. He asks the clan to take everyone away from here, and himself starts fighting with the people of the shop and ultimately gets killed. On the other hand, he escapes along with everyone else and comes to the forest where there was a very strong snowstorm. Ko-Love tells Mir night after night that he married Nastia. While they were talking about all this, a huge bear came in front of them. They all get scared seeing him, but the bear is the pet of a man named Store, Baludin store says that my bear does not attack Russians, so don't be afraid. After this we see that everyone has slept in a cave, but Cooler does not sleep because he is afraid that he will forget everything. He asks if he has any such medicine, so that he will not sleep. He tells him about his problem, but he tells the man that if you forget everything every day, then it is a good thing, because every day is a new beginning in your life. When everyone wakes up the next day, they head back to Real, only to find that their entire city has been reduced to ashes. We are shown the scene of the previous night, when Batan Khan's people first burnt the entire city by throwing fireballs, and then broke the door of the palace and entered inside, and tied up the prince and killed him, and so on. They tied up Prince Yuri and killed him, and in the same way his daughter and wife died. He goes near his house where he sees that his wife has flu. Everyone was angry and emotional too. Their homes and people were gone. They all replant the city. Colbert tells everyone there are survivors left to find them, and he rings the bell. We see the women and children who survived coming out of their places, hearing the sound of the bull. A small group of moles comes again to kill them. Let's go. The market tells everyone to keep quiet, and he himself sits under the vine. They go and surround him. The two models were about to kill him, and then we get to see the power of that friend uses rays to kill everyone single-handedly. He kills everyone quite easily. He was about to kill with one arrow when Yun kills him from the beginning. After this all the survivors come out and kill everyone. All the survivors are told that they should hide because more will come from Mars to kill them. Says that they will have to ask for help from other states. He sends one person to Murim, another to a state, and the third to a state. He says that before the things reach other states, we will describe them, so that everyone can increase their army. After this we see that Collaborate and everyone else together add a substance to the water, due to which the health of Batan Khan's soldiers starts deteriorating. Their commander starts threatening them when Collaborate shoots an arrow towards him, which makes the commander realize that this is someone's trick. He sends some of his men into the forest where Kolrad was standing alone waiting for them. All of them try to kill him, but Jinsur and everyone else silences him and kills him. Everyone becomes very happy and starts taking weapons and clothes from Mongol. After which we see that Koli Virat suddenly becomes unconscious, and his maid Leda starts crying, thinking that she is injured, but Jinkar calms her down, saying that he has not slept for the last 3 days, so it is just his tiredness. He asks her to tie her hands. She prays to God that the army of the shop goes away from here, and she also prays that somehow Kol Virat falls in love with her. Actually liked it. At night the clan of fighters asks Virat to wake up. Lad wakes him up, and like breakfast tells him that the incident happened 13 years ago, and now he is the prince's guard. She frees his hands, but Colorado pushes her away and runs away. He beats Amir and his own men like crazy at night, but at last everyone catches him, and Jinsur reminds him everything, apologizes to Kolbira and all the people, and comes to Ka, who was crying. He silences her and apologizes to her too. On the other hand, we see that the people whom Love Rat had sent to other states talk to the Prince of Goa and ask for help to fight the shop's army, but they are refused. At night we see Kol Virat and his men posing as ghosts and scaring some models. They are superstitious people who are very afraid of ghosts. All they do is kill some people and set their tax on fire. There is chaos everywhere. The news spreads among everyone that all this has been done by the ghosts of the forest. At the same time, the commander had found one of the 3 men sent by Kol Virat with whom he tortures. The same Khan stands on a mountain and looks at his burnt tax. On the other side we see that Collaborate and everyone else were celebrating. They think that tomorrow the people sent by them will come from the army for help. At night, when he sleeps, she goes near La and caress him, and as soon as Kolbira is a dog, she starts reminding him and says that she is his wife. Now she starts taking off her clothes, but tells Colorado that his wife's name dances, and today she seems to have forgotten nothing. But Hack from Colorado says that now he has no one but La, so it reminds him of home. The next morning a man tells Ko that he hears the sound of a horse's feet. Perhaps the army has come to help them. Colorado sets out alone into the forest in search of her, and Kolrad follows him, and sees that there was no one there but only the man whom the mongoose had caught and killed. Suddenly a lot of Mauls surround Virat, and she runs to Jinsur and everyone else to ask for help. Along with the models, there was also the commander, who was surprised to see Virat. He sees that Kol Virat was fighting with a sword in both his hands. He throws a rope to catch it, just like he did in childhood. But this time Colorado survives. Suddenly the storm starts intensifying and the bear comes and starts killing all the models. Jinsur and everyone else had also reached there. The commander gets surprised and runs away from there. Ba hides in the shop and goes among his army, where there was complete chaos all around, that some booth was set up behind them. Some people were even saying that Gas Khan was very brave, but his grandson Bad Khan is a coward. Comes to his camp. The commando tells him that he cannot fight, in front of the booths. He tells that as soon as we arrived there was a storm after which a bear and some soldiers killed our people. He was very scared, but Tan Khan orders him to turn the army back towards them, and by killing them he will tell his army that they are normal people. And not that now the entire army of Mongol had turned back, but they all were very scared that they had to face the ghosts. We'll have to fight. Kolrod's plan had been successful, but the only problem was that there were all these children with him whom he would have to save. He orders Jigger to take all the children to the back direction. By the time they reach Mongol Sun, from where they will be able to escape quickly through the river. Jin Sir is unable to say anything in front of him. The fighters are asked to go with Beijing Sir, and both of them leave from there. Then calls Virat and prepares for war along with him. Those 17 people sit together and wait for Mongol. A few moments later, everyone else sees that a huge army of models was standing by to kill them, tries to move towards them but slips and falls down. They all use rope to climb. They are all going to climb up. The people of Kolrod drop a huge tree on them. They are all attacked with arrows, killing some of the clan's ward. Now the commander of the Mols climbs up with a troop and starts killing Evrion's men. Many people from both sides die, and finally the commander and the commander again face each other. He breaks his sword quite easily and cuts his neck. On the other hand, we see that Jasher and Leda, with whom the children had reached the river pump, find a rope frozen in ice, which all the children blow on to untie it. And finally their boat starts moving. Here, Colbert and his men had killed many people. 17 Russian soldiers were overwhelming thousands of Mughals, after which Dukan gets embarrassed and asks his men to ask Kolvirat what he wants. Kol tells Rod that we don't want anything from you. You people have come here without being invited, so you have to go ahead from here. Then go only after killing us. After this, they start showering big stones on Mongol Sun. Everyone was laughing in their last moments. After this everyone is killed with stones. See, if you want to go ahead then go only after killing us. After this, they start showering big stones on Mongol Sun. Everyone was laughing in their last moments. After this everyone is killed with stones. Kolrod sees that Jin Shur is happy that he has reached the river, but then stones fall on him and he becomes unconscious. When he wakes up again, he still remembers everything. He comes down and goes to the Mughals. He had the immunity charter in his hand. That's why no one beats him. The rod falls to the ground, and Bado Khan asks him who he is, to which Colorado tells him that he is a common Russian soldier. He gives him back his immunity charter, bends to take it and tells Colorado that after all you all bowed before me. He is surprised to hear one thing and Collaborate dies. Very impressed with Bat Udon Collaborate, he tells all his people that if this happens in my army then I have full confidence in it. He says that we should bury such a great warrior with respect. Virat's body is surrounded by a high stone wall on all sides. After this, we see that after many years, Jinsur, who was leading his army against Mongol, remembers the great Kolivrat at this time, and with this, the movie ends here.